Three items. So I decided to present my sheep because I bought this sheep like 10 years ago when I had a project as a journalist for the radio, which didn't turn into a permanent job, but it taught me so much. And the project was to take interviews with people who collected some money for refugees and for women, and then I suddenly saw the sheep, and the zipper doesn't work anymore, and it had a tail as a zipper puller, but let's say now I attached this horse because the tail got lost in Vorlagshoop, because I have like the last 10 years just spent much time on the bus with my sheep. Because yes, it reminds me of like women's rights, women's emancipation, that I will also always need shelter from the storms of life, and like this what I attached rather than a tail is a horse that I actually also like bought at a queer market, and it is a part of my identity that is maybe too hard to explain right now, because it's again more than meets the eye, so much more than just a last goodbye. So the tail can be my lost item, but let's say similar to when you lose abilities. Of course, the tail is a body part. So let's say if Mr. Baba was alive, then I think he would be very hurt in the moment that the tail fell off. But let's say, as I've mentioned, often I do have a disability that gets worse with age. And I could walk without equipment when I was a child, even though on old photos you will always see there was a very inverted foot. So I live with the fact that, for example, I lost the ability of standing up from the ground. So when I stay at someone's place, I have to tell this to the person because I can't sleep on mattresses anymore. And yes, with my sleeping habits, that is actually hampering, but similar to when Mr. Baba's tail got lost in Vorlagshoop, I had to remember this is a sore that heals. I know Mr. Baba's zipper is a little bit broken. I know my friend wanted to throw out Mr. Baba already 10 times, but I defended him with my life. And I say, okay, now he has a more creative tail. Now I just have to unzip and zip the zipper every time. And yes, he takes a bath every 2 weeks because he can go into the washing machine, but then I have to remove the horse. So that is important to take life as it comes. And I mean, I came over the sorrow of losing the tail because going to Vorlagshoop was also visiting a really dear friend who gave me a lot of inspiration, and if the tail hadn't got lost, I wouldn't have attached the horse. And the horse was expensive, but it was worth it. My second thing is my hat, because I mentioned I'm a part of the rainbow community, even though that's harder to explain where exactly to situate me, but there was a friend who is watching every penny that she has. She still found this rainbow hat for me because she said it just says Frida, and she invested in sending me a package with this hat. And everybody who sees that hat is like, oh, that's such a nice hat, did you make it? I didn't make it, but rainbow is a symbol of spectrum, rainbow is a symbol of hope, and when this friend who never ever wants to spend a penny on anything gives me this hat. I love this hat, and it's so soft. And this is, because I'm talking so much in really unstructured ways, this is basically my communication book. If I am in a situation where I am not allowed to interrupt people, and trust me, I know a lot of people who don't want to be interrupted, then I just draw what I want to say, And or I write down what I want to say. Yes, I'm just kind of trying to cover here the novel text because I don't want the people to read my novel beforehand because otherwise no one's gonna buy it. Here we had a conversation about like a raccoon because like raccoons rummage through the trash and they are intelligent and like he's masking. Yeah, we were kind of talking about masking before. So. And this book also has a story because like it has this little tassel that royally gets on my nerves, but let's say when I'm too tired I can wake myself up with it. But when I bought this at store A, then it was the last one. And I wanted more of these books because I like the point layout, because I can draw well in it. And then suddenly, I went to store B of a similar kind and didn't find any. And then I was so sad, but still I had this festive way of letting go. And then suddenly my friend who was with me said, "Wait, there, three more, and they are on sale because they are kind of a clearance." So I bought all those 3 of them, and now I have 4 in total. They are like for my novel writing and filmmaking, and purple is my favorite color because it's like between red and blue. Like the other day I saw a video on YouTube where a sort of like esoteric guy said like there is a concept of blue waters and red waters in working market theories. Like red waters is like sort of like this American first thing, like where everybody thinks just of their own benefit, and blue waters is like there is good and food and talent for everyone. And actually that reminds me of my favorite movie Interstate 60, where the old father is so much red waters that he gives his son a red car, but the son at some point stands up and says, "What's my favorite color, Dad?" And then the dad goes like, "Blue?" So, and here I am like in between, like also in between the gender symbols, because I don't fit this classical women's picture, and I like also like caressing the book to get better ideas. And sometimes like tying the book up when I want to tell myself now I'm finished with all the ideas. And like unwrap life. So, and yes, I want to take space, like in some contexts I want to learn to put myself first, and like even when I have very little money and everybody tells me, "You don't need another notebook." Yes, I needed another purple notebook, and there I put myself first and spent my last dime on a purple notebook. And no one's gonna tell me that I don't need a purple notebook. But also like the blue undertone with like, I like this idea of blue waters where there is good stuff and talents for everybody, and where there is like also like taken notice of the talents of everybody, and where I can build up my own niche. So I need all of those 4 books to build up my own niche. There's something in the water that makes you melt, makes me love you like I do, 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 do. Amen.
Yeah, okay. So 3 things in my bag, which I found today, and they were not like planned to be here, but what we have a new pencil that I bought yesterday. As you said, you don't need new purple notebook. I said to myself, I do deserve to have a new pencil, although I have a lot. It's for my like Icelandic examination of level 5. Soon I will prepare, so it must be something new. You start, yes, with new pencil. And all writers must have a pen or pencil inside of bag, correct?
Yeah.
You always have. Me too. Second thing, what is super important for me, it's like ticket to Titanic. To Titanic film. Yesterday I was in the cinema, and it was like my dream during 20, maybe 7 or 9 years old, to watch Titanic in the cinema. because when I was a kid, I was 12 years old, all my classmates went to the cinema, and only I was sick at that time. And during all this time, all this period, I never managed to realize this dream. And for me, to spend like three hours in the cinema in Reykjavik is like too expensive, because I mean I'm always busy here, but I decided to spend this time for realizing my dream, and it was like luxus, it was expensive for me, 5,000, but I said to myself, no, I deserve it, like you, with your notebook, correct? Correct.
Yeah.
Because all the time I was thinking about this, and I was crying again in the end of the film, because for me it's like something like the same situation in Ukraine. I'm watching at this situation, people die, yes, and I'm the lucky one, like Rose in the end of film, she is like on the upper point of this ship,
Yeah.
which is sinking, but she's looking at people, they die, but she stays alive. And when, for example, she was lying on the door, and she got sane again, and she sees that the last boat goes away from her, but she decides to make something to save her life, and she swims and she whistles, and people come back and save her. And I think I'm something like her in this moment. I also decided to fight for my life, and a lot of people cannot do it in Ukraine. It's true, because they cannot, for example, have money for traveling, or they don't know foreign languages, or they have everything just there in that place. But if I am alive, yes, I also need to create something to help people, even to inspire. Maybe someone will come for some time from Ukraine to save his life. So this is not just a ticket, this is like my belief that, yes, that it brings me something nice. And these two nice bags of tea. Taylor's is one of my favorite teas. It's green tea, and with mandarin and ginger, and just green tea, and I give it to you as a present.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love ginger.
Let you taste the
Thank you.
yes, this tea. If I have something more now, I would share, but I don't have only tea.
Well, maybe we'll find something in here, because that honestly, I never saw Titanic like that, because let's say, of course, I was a teenager when it was up and when it was new and everybody thought Leo was hot.
Yes.
But let's say in this context, I am sort of privileged, because I always saved all my pocket money to go into the film, like several times.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically knew it by heart. And like, to me it was a symbol of, like, let's say getting rid of social conventions. Like, let's say I was Rose in the other level with the over feminine expectation. And my favorite stuff in the film where I started crying was actually where the photo is shown, where she sits on the horse, like not in a side seat but like a guy, in a western saddle that is working riding manner, like, yeah, not for fine people but for cowboys. So she became basically cowgirl by the inspiration of Jack, and I wanted to be Rose in that respect, and like that also made me look for guys, or like I slowly admitted, like a woman would also be an option, to be the cowboy and cowgirl and make something of my life in the honor of people who touched my life. Even though I have never seen physically people dying or something, but there were people who made a lot of sacrifices in their lives. Like also my mom, even though we sometimes have a tense relation, she made a lot of sacrifices, and like my grandma, and I wanna be sort of like I wanna be like them is the wrong expression, but I wanna do something in their honor. And there, I thank you, like really from the bottom of my heart, to like give me this other perspective.
Mm-hmm.
To not take the Titanic so much for granted, and to, I mean, I still listen to this from the Titanic soundtrack, this Take Her to See Mr. Murdoch, as a symbol of my own like filmmaking. Filmmaking plans, the films are not ready, but, and I mean, of course, the real Titanic was a disaster of engineering. So I should engineer my things maybe a little bit smaller. It's like there's also this scene with a huge ship here and the little boat that stirs it out of the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I should rather work on making the little boat that can show the big fish some directions. So
Yeah, we will see how it will go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's our story about 3 scenes.
Yeah.